Now, The Diary of Anne Frank is a book written by a young Jewish girl during the Holocaust while she was hiding from Nazis in Amsterdam. It's been read by 90 million people around the world and translated into 70 different languages, but not into Te Reo Māori. Not until now.
When the Netherlands was invaded by the Nazis during World War II, Jewish girl Anne Frank and her family went into hiding in a secret apartment behind her father's business. Dutch schoolboy Boyd Klap was just a few years older than Anne.
And during that time I saw what happened when you have a regime like the Nazis, a horrid regime which killed Jews, and not only that, but also people with disabilities, gays. My neighbors were Jews with a young boy. One day they had to report, they were taken away and they never came back. My girlfriend at the time, who later became my wife, now my late wife, when I visited her for the first time, I wasn't allowed in because they were hiding a Jewish person. So the experience of that hasn't spoiled my life at all, but it has had an impact on my life.
Boyd now lives in New Zealand and he's the chair of a travelling exhibition about Anne Frank. During a visit to Parihaka, he was asked if her diary had been translated into Te Reo Māori.
I had no idea, but when I came home and I looked it up on Google, I found that it had been translated into more than 70 languages and that it had been published in 60 countries. And to me it was obvious that the language of the Tangata Whenua, one of our 3 official languages, that it should be translated into that language as well.
Rā horo ai te kaumarimo hure, te kauma iwa whā te kauma whā. He uaua ngā wā pēnei, ka pupu ake te wawata, te moe a me te tūmanako e mai moati ana. Mohi ora wā ke kua monga noe I ngā kino o te ao. Whakamiharo ana taku kore e ruke atu I aku wawata.
Well, Anne Frank, in her lifetime, experienced the most extreme form of discrimination. And I think it's important for the world that this book can be read by young people, because if young people learn about discrimination, we may have less problems in the world later on.
After 2 years in hiding, Anne Frank's family was discovered and sent to concentration camps, where Anne became one of 1.5 million children killed during the war. Last week, on what would have been her 90th birthday, Boyd led a group in planting 15 trees in a Wellington park, one for every year of her life.
I think what happened in Christchurch was a clear indication what a great country we are, what a great reaction there was from all, from the Prime Minister down. But I think we have a way to go, and I think that a diary of Anne Frank in the schools can be a contributor to people understanding that we are all equal and that discrimination is just not on.
He oe, kia te tiro whakarungau ki te rangi, ko āhua rongo anua ka painga mea katoa. Ka mutu e nei mahi kōhuru, ka tau mai anō te rongo mau me te rangi Māori. Nā kuna Anne M. Frank.
So much to the wonderful Kurawaka Morrison, who you saw there reading those experts. This is the book. You can get your hands on a copy. And I think I read this book when I was a young girl, and it's just made me realise again how inspiring I found it. Because of Anne Frank, I ended up keeping a diary, and I think that, which is still something really precious to me, and I think that the more people that have it in their hands and have it as a source of inspiration, the better it can be. Boyd isn't actually Jewish, but he was part of the Dutch resistance, and he says he's always felt an affinity towards those people because of what he experienced during the war. So thank you, Boyd, for your hard work.
Very cool.